Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about the CMA thing, the Activision thing, the Xbox thing, and what I actually, kind of believe and think. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. But we do need to kind of break things down a little bit with this deal, and I think it's been a little bit irresponsible for the way that other members in the Xbox community have been trumpeting this thing on their shoulders and just getting everybody super hyped up about it and all of that stuff. The world is a little bit different place than what we have grown up and what we've come to realize. There's a lot of forces out there right now that are trying to stop these types of mergers and just kind of make things harder for everything. And that's kind of what happens. That's kind of what you get when you vote with emotions. So if you're an emotional voter, man, probably don't get too hyped up or too excited about things. Listen to what these politicians say to you before you run out there and click that. Oh my gosh, you think like me. Really think about things. And that's all I'm going to say about it. This isn't a political channel, nothing like that. But I do kind of see things that are changing. Things are getting different. Things are getting more, for the most part, I don't get it. I don't understand for the life of me how the Xbox deal with Activision Blizzard is going to any way hamper anybody getting into the cloud gaming space. So let's take a look at the history of cloud gaming a little bit and kind of get a little bit of better understanding about this. When PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 came out, you were able to stream PlayStation 3 games to your PlayStation 5 if you signed up for PS Now. That was my first experience with it. I tried it. It wasn't great. I was kind of just pretty much disappointed that I couldn't play any of my PS3 games on my PS4. I was actually pretty upset. I had to not play Gran Turismo 6. I didn't finish Dead Space 3. There was just so much in between stuff. Castlevania, Lords of Shadows 2, just so many games that got lost in that transition from 3 to 4 for me that it was just frustrating. And I wasn't going to stream them because that just was not a good experience then. So then you fast forward. We're only talking about the console space at this point in time right now. Then you fast forward into xCloud, which launched pretty much at the beginning of this generation with the Xbox Series XS and the Xbox One platform. You can still use it with that platform. You can use it on your phone, your tablet, basically anywhere. That all comes about because of Microsoft Azure and being able to stream like workstations, PC workstations, all of that. So Microsoft has invested and has been investing lots of money into getting this cloud infrastructure up and running so that it is a better value for people to be able to do anything on essentially a cloud streamed version of Windows. You can pretty much do like your workload on the stream. Like you can do it from a cloud server, all of that stuff, and it's all saved in the cloud, all of that. It's basically a virtual machine, but Xbox has kind of brought that technology or Microsoft has brought that technology to the Xbox platform as well to allow you to stream any game that is on Game Pass. Now, me personally, I would like it to be able to stream any of the games that I own in my library from Xbox. I think that would be even a better proposition than what it is now. Now, you do have other players. You had Google Stadia that got in there around the same, just a little bit before xCloud launched. I think Stadia actually came out first and you were able to stream that before xCloud came out of, well, actually xCloud's still in beta. So you had Stadia come out and already flop. They already like, yeah, we're not doing it. It's too much to run. There's just not enough interest in it. It seriously was a flop. But then you have things like GeForce Now. Now I know that you've been able to stream stuff, like from your platform, stuff like that. Like streaming is starting to pick up, but it's a little bit more like VR. VR starting to pick up. You got streaming that's starting to pick up. Well, without key players, I mean, you've got Boostroid. I'm kind of working on like a like a thing for Boostroid right now to like do like a review for it to see if I'm gonna um go ahead and like become an affiliate with them and like pretty much talk about it on the channel. Now, me personally, my personal experience with streaming is, I mean, it's doable, and sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. This is all dependent on your internet connection. If you have a really high if you have a really high lag or a really high ping, you're not going to get the best experience. Now, my experience with xCloud and Boostroid so far is Boostroid is pretty much any PC game that you own. If you own a if you own a if you own games on Steam, or you own them on Epic, or any of those things, you can use Boostroid to stream those games over the cloud, and you can use them. It's pretty much 1080p up to 60 frames a second. Now, when I got in there and I was playing around with Hogwarts Legacy, I was only able to run that game at low settings. Low settings. Like there wasn't enough headroom to do anything else with that. So if you're looking for more of a robust PC experience, I think GeForce Now is probably going to be your best bet. Now, there are some key players out there right now. There's another one, Ubitus or whatever. I don't know who that is or what that is, but Microsoft had pretty much signed 10-year contracts with all of these different competing platforms. And so I don't understand what the hangup was there. Call of Duty itself, or Overwatch, or any of those first-person shooter games, that's going to be a pretty tough sell for streaming those games, because you need less latency when playing those, or you are going to be at an extreme disadvantage when it comes to playing that type of an experience. Now, the whole point, the whole way that they came about this, the CMA, and shutting Xbox down for this, doesn't make any sense to me. And there's a reason. You need a strong platform like Xbox that has a strong, compelling lineup with games like Call of Duty to be able to make the streaming platforms worth investing in. If there's no investment, if there's nothing heavy hitter, if there's no what do our favorite pony friends say? Exclusives. If there's no exclusives, there's nothing to sign up for it. Why do you think Stadia freaking kicked the bucket? They stopped making their own games for it. They pulled out. They got cold feet pretty quick, because there's just not enough in that market to be able to like bring people in. It's not even a proven technology yet. Like, it kind of works sometimes and it kind of doesn't. Now, the best thing was for Xbox to buy Activision, Blizzard, whatever, because then they could have continued to fund and build on xCloud with the support of having those studios. It just gives Xbox that little bit of extra oomph so that they can continue to build out this platform. Right now, xCloud is pretty much stapled onto your to your Game Pass subscription as like go ahead and try it. It's a beta, blah blah blah. You can see how it works. Like cloud gaming, I don't care what anybody says. That's next generation. That's mid-next generation. That's maybe the generation after, to where streaming is actually at a place to where it makes sense to play a game like Call of Duty on. So when you look at this, when you look at how the CMA is saying that by 2026 that the streaming, the cloud gaming is going to be a $1 billion overall income for their market. Not now. If Xbox cannot buy Activision Blizzard, that's not a reality that's going to come to. That's not going to happen. That it's not going to grow into 1 billion. And it would be interesting to see if it did. I'd be like, wait, what's going on? Because the options that I've played on, man, you get a better experience on an Xbox Series S for $300. For $300, man, you're gonna pay $15 a month to stream games when you could just buy a Series S and have a better experience than what any one of those. unless you're wanting to buy into the PC space, but then that's with GeForce Now, which you still have to buy your games. You still have to buy your games. You still have to buy your games on Boosteroid. You still have to buy your games on the other platform. The only one you don't have to buy your games on is Game Pass. And cloud gaming is basically a, hey man, you guys can try it if you want to, user beware type deal, because streaming is just not there yet. So I don't really get the whole argument of why and how they blocked this deal over that. Because cloud gaming honestly is at a place where, yeah, it could fall through. I mean, it could die any day now. And with Microsoft not having, Call of Duty or not having Activision Blizzard, that might temper their overall rollout into the cloud servers. Um, it might affect that. It might actually be like, oh well, you know what, man, if we can't get the content to get it up and running and to make the investment worth it right now, it's going to be a much slower rollout. And that's pretty much where I see things going. I kind of see it. I don't necessarily see the Activision deal as like a like Phil Spencer said, like some kind of like it's all or nothing type deal. I don't necessarily see that like that, but I do believe that this is going to negatively impact gamers more than anything else. The whole prospect of being able to get those Call of Duty games into Game Pass here in a few years, because I don't even think they were going to get them like right after the deal closed anyways. Like I'm pretty sure that the deal with Sony is keeping those games off of Game Pass until that deal is expired. So I don't necessarily think that was going to really benefit anybody out of the gate anyways. So I don't know. It just seems kind of pointless for the CMA to block this with what's going on out there. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. And honestly, I don't really care personally if Xbox buys Activision or not. Like that, I didn't buy Xbox for Call of Duty. I bought Xbox far before that for other properties that they have, for other IPs that they continue to make, and for the new experiences and the new IPs that they're going to be making. So that's pretty much where I'm standing on this. And I hope that you guys can understand that. And I do kind of, I am a little irritated with my colleagues, in the YouTube and on social media for putting so much pressure on these acquisitions, man. It's like, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Like, calm down, man. Like, stuff like this is going to happen. So I hope this made sense. I hope that you guys are all here with this. I hope that, this can kind of help anybody that's kind of thinking about this or worried about this, but man, it doesn't make sense to me. We'll find out more stuff as it goes on, but this is probably the last video I'm going to make on it until it happens or doesn't happen. So we're going to go back to regular freaking content and move forward. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one, and hit that subscribe button. Thank you.